And I'm sorry, Mr. Fleming, are you handling arraignments this morning?
I am, Judge.
Okay. All right, we are on the record then in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Corey Stephen O'Brien. It is file number 21-20452-FH. Today's the date set for an arraignment in this matter. We are proceeding today by a video conference that's being streamed to a YouTube channel. First, let me ask the attorneys to place their appearances on the record, beginning with Mr. Fleming for the people.
First, I'd appear on behalf of the people.
Good morning, Your Honor. Sam Bernstein with and on behalf of Mr. O'Brien.
And for the record, Mr. O'Brien is logged into the Zoom session as well. Mr. Bernstein, how does Mr. O'Brien wish to proceed today? Does he wish to have the information read?
No, Your Honor, please waive reading and enter a not guilty plea now. I don't know if Your Honor only likes to just strictly do the arraignment today, but I have spoken with Mr. Fleming about a plea resolution in the past. And I think we could maybe put that on the record today if the court would like. I just probably would need a breakout room for just 2 seconds with Mr. Fleming if that's acceptable to the court.
Yeah, I can set that up for you. Okay, one moment.
Do you have the pretrial?
Okay, Mr. Dagger Margosian, what case are you here for today?
Good morning, Your Honor. I am here on Tanya Torres. As well as I think later it's Ashley Schopflin.
Okay, and so then have you been retained? I just asked Ms. Torres and she thought she was represented by Ms. Dawn Van Dusen.
Your Honor, I joined the Lenawee County Public Defender's Office last week. It was actually probably my first day on this particular Zoom. So I will be representing her in the Lenawee Public Defender capacity.
Okay, I'm sorry, I apologize. I was not aware of that. So let's see. And on the record with Ms. Torres. Do you, Mr. Dagger Margosian, do you need to speak with Ms. Torres or the prosecutor before we go on the record?
Yes, please, Your Honor. If I could speak with Ms. Torres first. Thanks so much.
Okay, then, Mr. Bernstein, are you ready to proceed with Mr. O'Brien?
Yes, Your Honor. We have a plea agreement that I'll ask Mr. Fleming to put on the record.
Yeah, 1 second, please.
Name on the record.
All right, we're on the record now in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Corey Stephen O'Brien, file number 21-20452-FH. We are back on the record in this matter. The attorneys have had an opportunity to discuss the case in a breakout session. It's my understanding that there is a resolution at this time. Mr. Fleming, would you like to place on the record what your understanding of that resolution is?
Absolutely, Judge. So Mr. O'Brien will be pleading to count 1 and 2. Count 1 will be done under 771.1. And if he successfully completes probation, count 1 will be dismissed.
All right. And Mr. Bernstein, is that your understanding of the agreement?
Yes, Your Honor, that's my understanding. And Mr. O'Brien, this is exactly what we discussed before coming to court today. So we are good to move forward. And it would be a no contest plea, Your Honor, based on lack of memory. And I can walk through the police report for the court if the court would like on the factual basis.
And no objection to the no contest plea, Judge.
All right. Mr. O'Brien, would you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty for perjury?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you are Corey Stephen O'Brien, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. O'Brien, for the statement of your attorney and the prosecuting attorney today, is it your intent to plead no contest to count 1, assault with intent to do great bodily harm less than murder or by strangulation?
Yes, Your Honor.
And is it also your intent to plead guilty to count 2 no contest to count 2 domestic violence?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with Mr. Bernstein and the advice that he has given you?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand that the maximum penalty for the count 1, assault with intent to do great bodily harm less than murder, is up to 10 years in prison or a $5,000 fine?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand that the maximum penalty for the domestic violence charge is 93 days in jail or a $500 fine?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand that I'm sorry, is the habitual offender remaining?
That's going to be dismissed, Judge.
Okay. Neither the prosecutor or defendant or anyone acting on the defendant's behalf has discussed a possible sentence with court. Is that correct, Mr. Fleming?
That's correct, Judge.
And Mr. Bernstein? You were muted, Mr. Bernstein.
All right, that's correct as well, Your Honor.
And is that also your understanding, Mr. O'Brien?
Yes, Your Honor.
If a guilty plea is accepted, there would be no trial. I'm sorry. If the no contest plea is accepted, there will be no trial. That means you're giving up the rights that you would have had at trial. I'm going to explain those rights to you now to make sure that you understand them. You have the right to a speedy public trial by jury. You can ask for a non-jury trial, and if the prosecutor and the court agree, you could have a non-jury trial. You have the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to have a prosecuting attorney prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you are guilty, and you do not have to prove anything. You have the right to be present at your trial, to have the witnesses against you appear at your trial, and to ask those witnesses questions. You have the right to have the court order any witnesses that you have for your defense to appear at your trial. You have the right to remain silent during your trial and not have that silence used against you. However, you also have the right to testify at your trial if you wanted to testify. You understand, Mr. O'Brien, that if your plea is accepted, you may be giving up the right to appeal issues that would otherwise be appealable if you were convicted at a trial.
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand that any appeal from the conviction and sentence pursuant to the plea would be by application for leave to appeal and not by right.
Yes, Your Honor.
If you're not a citizen of the United States of America, conviction of a crime can result in deportation, exclusion from admission to the United States of America, or denial of naturalization. Do you have any questions about any of those rights?
No, Your Honor.
How do you wish to plead then to the charge that on or about May 13, 2021 in Dover Township, Lenawee County, Michigan, that you did commit the offense of assault with intent to do great bodily harm less than murder or by strangulation?
No contest, Your Honor.
And how do you plead to the charge that on or about May 13, 2021 in Dover Township, Lenawee County, Michigan, that you did commit the offense of domestic violence?
No contest, Your Honor.
Has anyone made any threats or promises to you to induce you to plead guilty to those charges? I'm sorry, no contest to those charges.
No, Your Honor.
You understand that if I accept the pleas, you will be giving up any and all claims that the pleas are given as a result of threats or promises that were not disclosed to the court on the record here this morning, or that it was not your own choice to enter those pleas.
Yes, Your Honor, I understand.
Is the prosecutor or defense counsel aware of any promises, threats, or inducements other than the plea bargain to induce the defendant to plead no contest?
No, Judge.
No, Your Honor.
Mr. O'Brien, has your attorney promised you any particular sentence or estimated what your sentence would be, other than as we've discussed on the record here this morning?
No, Your Honor.
Is it your own choice to plead no contest today?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Bernstein, if you would like to review the police reports to establish the factual basis, you can do that at this time.
Yes, Your Honor. On May 13th, 2021, the Lenawee County Sheriff responded to a phone call from Haley O'Brien, who is married to Corey O'Brien. This was in Dover Township. When they spoke with Miss O'Brien, she stated that Mr. O'Brien had that day punched her a couple of times, and then also put his hands on her neck from behind and did squeeze when he did that, Your Honor. So I think that would make up the factual basis for the domestic assault and assault with intent to commit by strangulation.
All right, I'm sorry, go ahead, Mr. Bernstein.
And if I need to further elaborate, I mean, none of that was with permission or in self-defense. It was described as certainly an offensive touching.
All right, Mr. Fleming, anything that you need to
I would
add?
just also note that the report indicates that she had a little difficulty breathing from the application of the hands around the throat, and we would stipulate to the use of that Lenawee County Sheriff Report 21004297, Judge.
All right, has the court complied with MCR 6.302 B, C, and D, Mr. Fleming?
Yes, Judge, thank you.
And Mr. Bernstein?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
I will accept the pleas then. They have been given understandably, voluntarily, and accurately. The defendant has full knowledge of his rights and he has had competent counsel. Of course, not made any agreement regarding the possibility of a plea or possible sentence in this case with the prosecutor, defense attorney, defendant, or anyone acting in the interest of any of them. I will refer this matter to the probation department for a pre-sentence investigation and set sentencing for September 9, 2021 at 8:15 a.m.
What was the plea? I'm sorry. What was the plea taken? Plea under? Did you say a MCL number, Mr. Fleming?
It is. It's 771.1 for count one.
Okay. Thank you.
Mr. O'Brien, someone from the probation department will be in touch with you to do a pre-sentence investigation interview. When you do that interview, please be truthful about these offenses and about your background. We'll continue bond as it's currently set. Ms. Walsh, do you need to get any information from Mr. O'Brien?
Yes, please.
All right. Let me put, I guess we can